His brother works. His brother doesn't work. Right? He doesn't work.
Right. He doesn't work.
His brother just hugs his family on the street. Because that's where they live.
Yes, and he turns tricks and all that, but he's happy, okay?
Exactly.
Never mind the fact that he caught herpes yesterday. Fuck you.
You're listening to the Double D's podcast.
I'm Don.
I'm D.respect.
He's got a great set of tits.
I get so angry thinking about this kid.
Because that's what most people are bitching about.
I'm from New York. You know what I mean? We like to eat out here. You know?
You gotta stop looking at interacting with people online as a cheap date. My father used to drink.
Get the fuck away from me. I'm done.
I come a lot, by the way.
You're good doing the rap stuff.
If you didn't say it, somebody in the comment section would have said it.
It's like how you feel when you're having a paranoid high.
That's a dynamic connection right there.
This episode of Double D's is brought to you by the HipHop RPG. For those of you who do not know, HipHop RPG, I don't know why I sound so angry, is an animated series that I started. Okay, I started it 6 months ago. It's an animated series about hip-hop artists who are in a post-apocalyptic scenario, and it stars Kendrick Lamar, Kanye, Tyler, the Creator, a bunch of hip-hop artists that you like, okay? Drake is a white mage. It's a good series, all right? Episode 3 is coming out this Saturday, November the 8th, 2014. That's episode 3, and it's coming out late in the afternoon or early in the evening if you're on the East Coast. Look out for that. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and I will dump all that information out for you. I hope you enjoy it, and what I'm going to ask for you, from you, and I don't ask much, is if you enjoy it, share it with a friend, talk about it somewhere, repost it on Twitter, post it on Facebook. That is going to help me very much, and it's going to help the series a lot. It's going to help it get noticed. Beyond that, just you putting your eyeballs on it and watching it is, it's much appreciated. So thanks.
You hear that? Why were you so upset while you did that promo?
Because we had to start the podcast over.
So it's my fault. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, well, we took a few minutes to start this podcast, and I do admit that Dom had to wait for me, but I've waited. In fact, we fucking once did a podcast that totally fucked up, and it was all Dom's fault. But
what did I do?
I don't know. This happened months ago. And what is this, episode 76? I have no clue when it happened.
I didn't do shit. What did I do?
Don't you hate that when you're arguing with a woman, and I argue with women all the time, not just my girlfriend, just all women, and you point something out, and they'll say, when did that happen? You go, I don't know, bitch. I don't remember when it happened. It did. That didn't happen because I said it happened. How can I pinpoint when exactly this happened? And by the way, even if I give you an actual date, you're going to say, oh, I made it up. So you know what I should probably do next time? I should just probably make up some date.
You should.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, it's on my magical piece of paper. It happened on November 1999.
Yeah.
Asshole. I don't argue with women as much as you do. You know why? Because I don't commit as much.
You have no faith in women.
I wouldn't say that. I would look.
No. Let's
as a
talk
male
about
feminist. No. Look, the thing is, I don't invest enough to even care to get into an argument. I don't get that far. Mm-hmm. I'm gone by that point. By the time they figure out all this stuff that's shitty about me, I'm probably gone already. Or if I figure out that they're crazy, I'm gone. So I don't have to stick around, you see?
This being because ultimately, if everything escalates to that point, you can't put your hands on this person. Is that the reason why? Are we tapping into your inner aggression, Dom? Are you laying on the couch right now? Is this a therapeutic session?
Yes, that's what it is.
Therapeutic. Did I just describe a bed? Tempur-pedic, therapeutic.
You ever slept on one of those?
Those memory foam things?
That shit, you make fun of it now. That shit's probably awesome.
My parents have those beds. They do because they're old.
D.respect, this bed is so amazing.
My French parents.
You know? He calls it yours.
D.respect.
D.respect, you know, this bed is quite amazing. You know, it is bueno.
Bueno.
I just did the Italian kiss of your three fingers, and then you kiss the three fingers, and then you release it into the air. Bueno, muy bueno, D.respect, you know.
Yeah, whatever, queer. Anyway, so this episode of the Double D's podcast is sponsored by the HipHop Rippage, right?
Yes.
I like to call it the HipHop Rippage.
I don't know why.
Now, I often tell you to wet the listener's beak a little bit to
You do that a lot, and
get them excited.
look, I'm so fucked up about promotions. I'm of this school of thought where I always say to myself, is it good? Is the product good? They're probably going to show up and take more of it. I feel like I should do the bare minimum of telling them that they should look at it or when it's going to come out, all that stuff. This is sort of common in the animation industry. Not, I would say the small time animation industry. Guys like, whenever a guy like Felix Colgrave or David Firth release an animation online, they don't tell you months in advance when it's going to be done, because when you're working on an animation, you really don't know when it's going to be done. And I'm forcing myself to put in demonic hours to finish this thing by the 8th, but usually it'll pop up whenever it pops up, and you go there for a great product. They're not going to sit there and promote it to you. They just kind of have it there. Then again, I guess the difference between them and me is that they don't necessarily talk to their viewers a lot. They just kind of make the product and throw it out there. They're not really concerned with...
But if they spoke to their viewers, they would communicate that to them.
Yeah, they probably would. So
there goes your whole fucking argument.
Yeah, but I don't like having to sell... Somehow selling my stuff seems annoying to me, because...
Well, they're not paying for the rippage.
You know? Yeah, that's true. They're paying with eyeballs, though, because attention is currency, like I said in the most recent episode of Don Diggs. Mm-hmm. Based on Nightcrawler, a great movie.
Write that in your composition books, kiddies.
Attention is currency, my friends. That's how it is now, man.
So the running time for this RPG is how long?
I haven't pinpointed it exactly, but it's going to... I reckon it's going to run about 8
5
to 9
hours.
minutes.
Okay. I thought you were going to say 5 hours.
No, 8 to 9 minutes. A little tidbit, a little trivia for you fellas. When it's done, when the whole RPG is done, the running time will be about an hour. So,
okay, for the whole series.
Yeah, everything. When I'm just pack that shit up and throw it out, I could put the whole thing on Vimeo and just say, watch the whole goddamn thing. I am done. I very much look forward to that day. I'm thinking about it. I've been thinking I want to take a vacation the day I upload the last one. I want to go somewhere I haven't been to, like Chicago, meet my pal Chief Keef, hang out.
The first one was how long?
It was like 6 minutes. They're getting longer.
Okay, and the second one?
Like 7 or 8. I am aware that they're getting longer, so I've been forcing myself to snip the running time of the what is the opposite of proceeding? With the coming
of proceedings? I don't know
there's got to be another word. Anyway, I decided to a few of the episodes that I had written out for the future were going to be too long, so I sliced some of them in half, and you're just going to put them in different parts. Yeah, but I'm excited, man, to see what people think of this. But then again, I have this I have an idea of how I want it to go, and I know that you can't please everyone, and everyone has a different idea, I think, of how where the direction it's going to go in. And ultimately, I know that I have to put my foot down and say, well, this crazy ass spaceship that I'm driving is going here, and you might think it's crazy, and the story is going to get really fucking nuts. But I did run it by a few people who I know are into they're into video games and they're into hip hop, so they sort of told me what stuff was stupid or what didn't make sense. But I think it's going to be good, man. I'm pretty proud of it.
You didn't run anything by me. See, you see on the Double D's podcast, you see how Dom has an immense resource here, and he doesn't use it. Yet he just ignores me.
You don't care about aliens in video games.
Well, but I care about hip hop. I do.
I will admit I think at this point, everything that I have written is lacking in. I think the best thing I can do is sort of, if I run it by you, to sort of get you to like punch up some of the dialogue, maybe insert a little bit of the stuff like when Drake said "take care" in the first video. My problem is I don't want to do too much of that. I don't want
to pander too much.
I really no. I really
but people
don't
seem to
want
like
do that.
They
do,
like
but
that.
I say fuck it. I don't want to. Like someone said in the second video when Kendrick is fighting Duran, someone said, "Oh, he should have said the one in front of the gun lives forever before he whooped his ass." And I understand why they said that, but I don't want to do that.
Well,
do you
then
understand what I'm getting at?
No, I understand. But then if you don't want to do that, then I guess you don't have to stay within the guidelines of hip hop, because you're sort of making up your own personality, traits with these characters.
Yeah, that's.
So I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep it to a minimum, or you don't want to do it at all?
I want to keep it to a minimum. It's going to be in there. There's going to be enough references, enough stuff to feed the hip hop side. But the thing really is just a mix of whatever crazy ideas going on in my brain. Them trying to defeat the Illuminati is the overarching purpose of this, with Kendrick at the helm. After you told me that, by the way, because you might think you didn't influence it, but after you told me that thing one time, you really did influence the whole direction that this thing went in. I had to scrap a huge portion of the story after you told me that thing one day.
Okay, I do remember that.
Yeah,
I do remember that. Oh, see, now I feel like shit. Ugh.
Do you really? Good.
No, not really. No.
Because what I was gonna do is episode 2 was gonna be about Danny Brown in the wasteland of Atlanta, trying to find,
Why Atlanta?
Because it's a callback to the first episode. The Kim Kardashian demon. I still haven't named her. Whatever demon character, she ends up destroying Atlanta as sort of a way to scare them, to show that they're not fucking around. So she encases Atlanta in a bunch of ice, kills a bunch of refugees, sort of as it's like in Gladiator when the dude takes Russell Crowe's wife and kills her. It's like, we're not fucking around. You better do what we want or whatever. So yeah, I was gonna have episode 2 be Danny Brown going into Atlanta to try and free some refugees, and then he happens to see Kim destroy the world or whatever the fuck.
You do realize that somewhere in this world there are a few of cuckoos out there who have been smoking some blunts while watching the HipHop RPG 1 and 2, and they have their own theories as to what everything means.
Like too much to the point where they think that I'm an Illuminati person. I know.
Exactly.
I'm waiting on that person. I'm just waiting on them. They're going to say
You're
stuff
provocateur.
like, listen, Dom is a pawn. I used to listen to his shitty videos, his dumb stuttering Dom Diggs videos. I don't like that shit anyway, but this is clear that he is an Illuminati pawn, and he is putting these images in front of us. I'm telling you. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to make it so completely obvious that I put Illuminati imagery everywhere in this thing. So it is in your face. I almost wanted to give that kind of person, that sort of conspiracy theory minded person, so much of a meal, too big of a meal for him to even want to eat it.
Well, because it'd be so out in the open,
right?
That it's not sexy to them anymore. It's not.
Yeah, because
really
they don't have to dig at all. There's no digging.
Right. Oh, there's Dom digging. Like that.
This week I dig white asses. Let me tell you about white butts and why I like them.
Here's how the Dom digs for white asses would be. It would start off like cell phones, tables, flat surfaces. This week I dig white ass. Laptops, just so on and so forth.
What would the
CD cases?
What would the image be?
The CD the image would be Dakota Fanning with her back turned to the camera, just looking back with her finger in her mouth in a feverish kind of way, like, aren't I sexy? And she's actually not because she has no ass, but you love it.
Wrong. It would be Dakota Fanning in a profile view. So you see her side, and her body would be just like a block, like a rectangular block. And then but yes, she would have that pose. She would have a finger in her mouth.
Do not forget to tune in to the Hip Hop RPG this Saturday, only on Dom Sketchcast.
Yes.
That's where you can find it. That's where you can fucking find it.
Yes. It'll be good, I think. All I can say is I put in a lot of work into it. And as you know, when you put a huge amount of work into something, it tends to be pretty good. It tends to be better than your average stuff, right? It's just a rule of thumb. If you usually spend a certain amount of time on one video, if you spend twice that amount of time, it just ends up being better, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the equivalent of, the Hip Hop RPG is the equivalent of 20 Dom Digs all in one. The equivalent of one. I put in the amount of 10 interview videos jammed into one. So yeah.
I think we could go back to the Hip Hop RPG 2, where we were probably having this conversation where Dom was telling us just how many hours he was putting into the video.
Too many.
Guys, I put like 48 hours in like a day into like making this video. About 72 hours within a day. Can you believe that?
Yeah, man.
Illuminati puppet.
You want to hear something? You want to hear something weird?
What's that?
I already know what you're gonna say, by the way. So let me just preempt. Y'all, the nerd, you fucking nerd.
Okay.
Listen, in some tellings of the King Arthur folklore, okay, the character Merlin is said to be aging backwards. So I still haven't quite figured out how this works, but they basically describe him as when he came into existence, he's an old man. And he's basically Benjamin Buttoning it. So he's born as an old man who knows everything, and then he's getting younger, and he meets Arthur, and that's how he sort of.
Okay, wait a minute. Just pump the brakes for a second. First of all, King Arthur. This is the sword out of the stone.
Yeah, dog.
Okay.
All that shit.
Second, what the? Where are you getting at? Like, where's this coming from?
God damn it! Why did I?
Yeah,
no. You would do well not to ask me how I fucking made that connection. Now I gotta think. Merlin, time going backwards, me spending. Yeah, here's what it was. You said that I spent 72 hours in a day on a thing, which is obviously impossible. And I was focusing on that idea of you spending too much time in a day, which is impossible. And then that I linked that to Merlin aging backwards. You see that now? Are you happy that I explained it?
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that settles that. That put me in my place.
You defeated me. Damn. You seen any good movies lately?
Man, I haven't been to the movie theaters in quite the last time I went to the movies, and I know you're probably not asking the movies, just a movie in general.
Yeah.
Godzilla was the last movie that I went to see, and I just thought about that the other day. Godzilla was the last one. That was a while ago.
Some more trivia for you. Whoever the fuck Elizabeth Olsen and Kick-Ass, the two main characters in that movie, are going to be acting together as Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, brother and sister in the new Avengers movie.
Okay.
You're not gonna watch Avengers?
That's fine. No, that's fine. I just recently saw the first one.
Oh man. Wasn't it awesome?
Not interested. It was okay.
You didn't like Hulk?
I like the Hulk. The Hulk was good, but I mean that's it. I mean it's Mark Ruffalo. You know, that's just about it.
I'll tell you why his character is the best. Because he doesn't want to be there. He really doesn't want to be. He doesn't even want to exist. The dude tries to kill himself every Saturday. When all the other superheroes are going on the red carpet, fucking, drinking, doing blow off of the helicarrier and S.H.I.E.L.D., he's sitting there in his dirty ass bedroom and thinking, I do not want this. My power is a curse.
So this is who on the Hip Hop RPG. I wonder who would that be? Do you even have to think about it?
Yes.
Why?
Because you asked me. The character who this is one character who will be introduced, an original character who will be introduced.
You mean this isn't Childish Gambino to fucking T? Like, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Like
all right. Well, that too.
Yeah. Come on, Dom. Get it together or leave it alone.
I mean, no one really wants to be here. I mean, obviously. That's why I put out that shitty Stone Mountain mixtape. Did you listen to that?
Yes, I did, and I stopped halfway through.
Ooh, me too. I just... I'm a fan, but I just... Ugh. You remember the song No Small Talk?
No.
Bitch, I'm taking calls. No small talk. Bitch, I'm taking calls. This chick who says that hook about 20 times?
No.
Yeah, it was,
I was compelled to when I was listening to the album, I was compelled to tweet about a line that he said, something about a girl liking his music, so he nutted in her face or something like that.
What?
Man, if I could find it somewhere on my Twitter timeline, but I can't. It's not even worth sharing. It's she liked my music, so I nutted in her face. I don't know.
He's lying. Bino didn't do that.
No.
His skinny ass knees. Ooh. Well, it's coming out. Hang on, I come a lot.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Okay, I see what you did there.
Call back, yeah.
Okay, call
Zing.
back. Okay.
Zing.
Hey, recently, I told some of you guys on Twitter that I was gonna attend a Crown with T.I. Crown, of course, being the web series that Elliot Wilson has, on his Life and Times Jay-Z YouTube channel. So I went to this Crown with T.I. in New York City, and something pretty funny happened before the show. If some of you guys have seen the Crowns, you'll know that the camera, films people when they're online. Sometimes they speak to people. So the camera people came up to me and they said, well, hey, tell us about how excited you are about T.I. and all this mess. And I looked around and nobody else came forward. Everybody else is kind of like, nah, we don't really want to do it. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So they turned on the camera and they were like, so are you excited to see T.I. and everything? And I was like, not really. I'm here for Elliot Wilson.
That's fucked up, dude.
So immediately when I said that, there was a girl that was with the camera guy, and the girl was behind the camera guy. And as soon as I said, not really, I'm more of an Elliot Wilson fan, she looked off to the side, kind of like, oh, shit. And I looked at her and I said, oh, I guess that didn't bode too well with you. And she's like, oh, no, it's okay. And I said, no, I'm just being honest. It was the worst bit of footage I'm sure that they've ever gotten for one of those things.
Actually, I don't really care about T.I. that much.
Yeah, I really don't give a fuck about T.I. actually, even though you wanted to hear.
That's a pretty dick move, just to walk up to the camera and say that you don't even want to be there, really.
No, it's not that I don't want to be there. I'm just not there for the person who.
But you knew that they wouldn't want to see that. You thought that they wanted that
I wasn't
opinion?
there to get Dom. I don't give people what they want. I give people what's. I give them me. I give them honesty. I'm not going to stand there and say, since Rubber Band Man, he's had me at hello. I haven't given a shit about T.I. since Swagger Like Us on fucking Paper Trail.
You didn't like the
It's been a while.
I turn my dick to the east. I don't see nobody by my side.
No.
I turn my dick to the west.
No, and in fact, I'll tell you this.
My dick. Go ahead.
I'll tell you this. His Paperwork album, which is what he was promoting on the interview, they were playing it, when everybody was coming and being seated into the venue, and wasn't impressed. So I'm pretty much where I always am with T.I., and that's sort of meh, in that area. So I was just being honest with them, but obviously I saw the the Crown interview and I didn't appear anywhere throughout that. So
obviously,
for obvious reasons,
that's like me going to Comic-Con and them asking, "Oh, are you excited about Interstellar?" And then I would look around and just walk up to the camera and be like, space travel. What is implied by this? It is the sort of progression of humanity escaping. That's the equivalent. It'll be me doing my YouTube thing. That's what you did.
God. No, man. Listen, I am more into the journalistic side of hip-hop. I am into Elliott Wilson, what he's done over the course of his career. I am not that interested.
This is the guy who made the Aaliyah joke, right?
Elliott Wilson? No, this is not Elliott. You're confusing this with Star from Star and Buckwild. That's who you're confusing this with. No, this different guy. So, another thing that happened during this show, about 10, 15 minutes in, I was attending this event with d.respect. 10 to 15 minutes in, about 3 seats to our right,
Iggy Azalea sat down.
This bitch just starts talking and talking and talking. This group of people, like a group of 3, it seemed like 2 women and a guy, and they just kept talking and talking and talking. It wasn't enough to it wasn't enough to stop me from hearing what T.I. had to say, but it was enough that I could hear it in the background, and I'm pretty sure whoever was sitting around them, in front of them, behind them, couldn't hear a goddamn thing.
What were they talking about?
I couldn't tell because I was really trying hard to listen to what T.I. had to say, and I knew that it was just rubbish.
Bitch, I'm taking cows. Now it's my time.
Listen, I had this thought when I was sitting there, and these people were talking. And then this will be, when I connect the dots for you, this is really going to be interesting. And I swear to God, I was thinking this when I was sitting there. I was thinking about the only type of person that comes to an event like this is the type of person who that does what they're doing at an event like this, is the type of person that wants attention at all times, and they do everything within their power to get as much attention as possible, just for the sake of getting attention, for nothing else. And then, only to find out later, during the Q&A session, of course I rose my hand, no one, gave me a microphone.
It was like, that's the guy who shot out D.I. Don't give him shit.
Right. They knew exactly who I was. So this lady to the right of me stands up and, Elliott Wilson says, "What's your name?" And she says, "Tahiri." Okay?
Whoa. That's Joe Budden's girl.
Yes.
Whoa.
It was Tahiri.
Whoa.
Okay?
Whoa.
And this made...
Tell the people who Tahiri is.
Okay, Tahiri is ex-girlfriend of Joe Budden. She has shared the reality screen with Joe on Love and Hip Hop New York. Tahiri really became famous, I would say, about 3-4 years ago when Joe Budden was really into his blogging game. Joe Budden was big on blogging, and you knew who Tahiri was because she would be appearing in his blogs, or there was always some weird shit happening. And, and plus she's got a fat ass. So before the reality show came into the picture, she was a bit known. Remember that classic line that Joe had? "Can you hear me? Sick of niggas talking about Tahiri. She can do what she want as long as she don't do it near me." I like that.
Did he say it like that?
It's exactly how Joe said it. As long as she don't do it near me. So Tahiri's there, and she's asking some stupid fucking question about reality TV, and in my head, I'm like, this makes total fucking sense. Why? It's almost as if I felt her energy. I felt that attention-seeking energy that she had no interest. No interest whatsoever. Listen, I am not a T.I. fan, but I do acknowledge that this man is talented. And by the way, T.I. is a charismatic fucking person. He is funny as hell, and it was entertaining as fuck listening to T.I. just talk about his life, which beforehand I had no interest in whatsoever, but I was interested.
Would you say that he turned
No, I'm not a fan of his music. Him.
Yeah,
I became a T.I. fan. He's a very likable guy. He might be a serial killer for this reason because, as you know, serial killers are very charismatic. So he's a very talented man, regardless if I'm into his music or not. But why would you come to his show and just start cackling and laughing? You're not listening to a word he says. And now you're asking a question as if you really give a shit. For all she knows, he might have said, her question was, did you want to be on reality TV? She was talking, yes. She was talking so much throughout the show that T.I. might have said, I didn't want to be on reality TV, or I wanted to be on reality, but she wouldn't know because she wasn't listening. So why the fuck would you ask a question it was a dumb question.
It's just a fucking stupid question anyway, because why would he do it if he didn't want the money, or if he didn't think it was beneficial to his career, which it was? Why? What?
Maybe this was her way of trying to be a journalist or whatever. I have no clue. Maybe that's what she's trying to venture into. I'm not sure. But
did she toss her hair and try and do her makeup when it was her turn for the question?
I couldn't see her face. I saw her face on the video, and Thierry's attractive. All right, yeah, whatever. But I felt her energy. I did. I felt that energy, and I felt that attention seeking, that need for adulation. It's like, please, people, listen to me. Look back here. Forget about T.I. Just listen to me. Ugh.
I bet maybe in a person like that, in their twisted mind, they expect the crowd to just go, T.I.
Yeah.
Oh my. And she's like, no, please, let me ask my question, please.
I'm here for T.I.
Yeah.
But that's clearly not the case, because she was just there to just talk and hear herself. Fucking.
Maybe that was Joe Budden sitting next to her. How do you know?
Please.
Would you have said hi to him?
Would I have said hi to Joe?
You're a big fan.
No, I would not.
Hey, you're d.respect, aren't you?
That's what Joe Budden sounds like. Yes,
Joe. Dude, shut up. Hey, you're d.respect, aren't you?
Yes, I am d.respect, sir. How did you know?
I don't know. I watch your videos, man.
Oh, okay.
I gotta stay in the loop. You know what I'm saying, man?
Stay in the loop. Okay.
You got some good videos, man. But you know what, man? I didn't like what you said about that Total Slaughter battle.
Oh, okay. This is going nowhere, by the way.
What?
What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to go with that?
I just wanted to sound like Joe Budden. I don't know, but look, man, fuck you, d.respect. That's all I wanted to say, man. See you later.
You failed miserably.
Yeah, it was garbage. By the way, I googled Tahiri, and
she's too fat for you.
No,
she's not. Okay.
People make all these fucking assumptions about what I like all the time. It is constant. Girls will talk to me and be like, "Oh, you like this, don't you?" What the fuck?
So you mean outside the show, people?
Yes,
really?
All the time.
Why is that?
I don't know. You know what it is? People like bothering me because I get so animated. I start yelling, and they think it's funny, which it probably is. People will fuck with me. But I looked up Tahiri, and did you know that Tahiri Vela was a human female Jedi Knight in the new Jedi Order, and she was put on trial and she got assassinated. That's what comes up when you Google Tahiri. Do it right now.
No.
So Tahiri was overshadowed by a fictional character, a Jedi. No. For everything she worked for has been destroyed by a fictional character who holds a stick that makes sound.
And by work, we mean sticking penises in every orifice of her body.
My room, I have to whisper because my roommate's in the other room. My roommate will watch Hollywood Asses or whatever the fuck that thing's called.
Mm-hmm.
And he watches it just like everyone else does. You start it. I'm looking at pictures of Tahiri now. Jesus Lord. Wow. You'll have it on and they'll be like this bitch, she told me, like, she was my friend, but now I don't know that I can trust that anymore. And then the other girl's like, yeah, we're not friends anymore. And you look at them and you wonder if they're real. How could they be so stupid? And then by the time you think that, you're 25 minutes in. You're sucked into
you're in. You've watched it all.
Yeah, so you can't even judge them. They got you. They got you by the balls at that point.
What does it say about your roommate?
I don't fucking know. I have been watching Drumline 2, A New Beat.
There's another Drumline movie?
Yeah, they just did Drumline 2.
No shit.
some light skinned chick and a light skinned dude.
No shit. Drumline, which by the way was the best thing that ever happened in Nick Cannon's career.
That was a good movie.
That movie was good. That movie
Yeah,
was good.
very unique as well. You think about it, very unique premise.
Okay, maybe you're going a little bit too far, but it was a good movie.
No, it is. Are there any other movies about that?
I don't know, but unique.
Yeah, think about it. It's a unique premise. I'm doing my
It
opium
is.
right now.
It is. It did come up in that era where fucking dance competitions. I guess it's unique in that sense
Step
that
up.
they right. They didn't approach it with the same angle. They did it with something that would normally be perceived as a bit dorky, which would be drumming.
Yeah.
But they flipped it around. They made it cool. Nick Cannon, relatable, I guess.
His character had the classic super technique. Oh, he doesn't even read music, but he's the best. God damn it! And he's all cocky, but he has to learn the rules. It was good, man.
He's a maverick.
Oh, so in get this, in the second movie, he becomes a star producer. He's basically like the greatest hip hop producer of our time, because they say in passing, "Oh man, this guy produced 10 hit songs in the last year," and congrats on that.
Serious.
Yeah, I know it's a bit much, I know, but then the guy says, "Oh, congrats on that Grammy too," and he's like, "Yeah, sure."
This is what I like to call. I like to call this the Tyler Perry style of writing, which is just a complete exaggeration of people's occupations
true, isn't it?
and their accomplishments.
There's no subtlety, right?
No, there's
Those
none.
Characters.
Tyler Perry will literally write characters like this. He will say, Melissa is 23.
Oh my God,
Melissa is a college graduate. She is the CFO.
Imagine Gabrielle Union, by the way.
Right.
That's the character.
She is the CFO of a Fortune 500 company, right? And she is a heartless bitch.
Yeah, completely.
Because through all points of the movie, up until the point where she realizes that she actually has to be a person in life, throughout all points in the movie, every scene she has to remind people that she's successful and that she is a CFO and that she should be taken seriously and she is independent. Tyler Perry constantly writes characters this way,
But she's super good at her job, though.
Oh,
incredibly good. She's better than all the
amazing.
white guys who are on her team. Also, she has
Yes.
a young, hot white assistant.
male or female? See, when
I
you
don't
say
know,
hot,
but
I don't know what that means.
It's gotta be a hot white chick.
I was
like
just
Kim
thinking a joke,
Kardashian
but he
or
didn't get it.
something.
But all right, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Okay, good.
But yeah, but that's a prerequisite. You got, just like Nicki Minaj had a. When was Kim Kardashian? She was an assistant for one of his characters.
No clue, bro. I have no clue.
God damn it! What fucking movie was
Fucking
that?
clue. But I'm pretty sure whatever movie it was, the characters were just written in this, just in this one note way that I can't stand. Did you ever see, which one was it? I Can Do Bad All by Myself or whatever it was.
Jesus, I didn't watch that shit.
Whichever movie it was this movie. Maybe one of you fags in the comment section can let me know. I mean, I saw the movie and I'm calling you guys fags. I don't know how that works, but
He's like unplugging the dildo from his ass. Fucking fags out there, tell me.
it was in a mansion. And, of course, the guy who owned the mansion is this fucking ridiculous bazillionaire, super bazillionaire, successful guy. You know what? I'd like to see, and I'm totally deviating away from the point that I was going to make, but I'd love to see, like, how this works in Tyler Perry's head. Like, what is the voice in his head that goes, so check this out. So we're going to write this character, right? Right. He's going to make $2 trillion. No.
Not enough. It's not enough.
Okay. Right. $15 trillion a year.
Okay.
And his clientele, like he works with Pepsi, he works with Apple.
No, bigger. It's gotta be bigger, son.
Viacom.
Okay, he owns Viacom though, son.
He lives next door to the Rothschilds.
Yeah. Yo, they look up to him though. Whenever they see him, they say, "God damn, Mr. Jones, man, you're the fucking best."
And we're gonna call it Keeping Up with Mr. Jones.
Oh. Shing.
And then those eventually
Keep
get
it
turned
up with
into-
this. Dude.
You were gonna say that Jones.
We just made his next movie, dude.
Keeping up. Mr. Jones is just this ultra successful guy, but he is
yeah.
prick. He's a prick. And check this out. He's so much of a prick because he's dedicated so much time to his career that he doesn't make any time for his loved ones. For you.
You see, what happens is he flies his private jet, right?
Okay,
to
no,
Florida.
he doesn't have a jet. He doesn't have a jet. It's like a NASA fucking shuttle.
Okay,
that
right. He flies his shuttle, okay?
Yeah, his shuttle.
To Florida, bumfuck Florida, where his brother lives, okay? The thing about his brother is that he was just as smart, but he cared so much about his family that he has a wife and kids, all right?
And he's living the exact opposite of life because there is no middle ground in
Right.
life. It's only black and white. So his brother works. His brother doesn't work, right? He doesn't work.
Right. He doesn't work.
His
but
brother
he's-
just hugs his family on the street because that's where they live.
Yes, and he turns tricks and all that, but he's happy, okay?
Exactly.
Never mind the fact that he caught herpes yesterday from fucking. Look, he has a wife and kids that he loves. So Mr. Jones sees this and he thinks to himself, I gotta get that.
Yeah.
I gotta get that.
So the first thing that Mr. Jones does is he crumbles up his $15 trillion into a
Right.
ball and he throws it in his brother's face.
How does he get it all?
He just takes all the money and just hits his brother in the face with the money. I don't know.
This
I want
movie
your
is-
life.
I don't want. And when his brother finds out that he destroyed all his money, he goes, "You dumb motherfucker!" And that's the end of the movie, right there.
There you go, and that's how it's done. And that's Tyler Perry's school of writing. Why are we just like giving Tyler Perry shit now? Why is this happening?
I don't know.
It's your
But
fault.
I was talking to someone about. I was watching The Best Man, the first Best Man movie, and
Which I like, by the way.
yeah, I like it too. I was watching
Always liked
it,
that
but
movie.
I was thinking to myself, why are black movies always about someone cheating on someone, or it's heavily romance based? Okay, so much romance and drama. You will get both of those in spades. You will get nothing but that family drama, romance drama in a black movie. Okay, where is the black Inception? Why is it? Do you see what I'm getting at? Why is it always that? It's like there's a huge demographic being ignored of people who do not care about that shit. I don't care who's in the movie. I don't want to see any movie about some guy cheating on his wife. Of course, I contradict myself because I like Best Man, and I'll watch Baby Boy if I ever get the chance to do it because people tell me that that's really good. But anyway, do you know what I'm getting at? Why is it? It just seems to me like that genre's too prevalent. There's not enough variety. You know, why isn't? I don't know. Like, there's no Interstellar with a mostly black cast or something like that.
Right.
Where little romance, we're talking about going out of the planet, and drama that has little to do with romance. Why is it always about cheating on someone?
Well, both the movies that you pointed out are Christopher Nolan movies, right?
Fuck yeah. Look. I'll take whatever.
Why isn't
anything
Christopher Nolan black?
else. Basically, that's what I'm saying. All right,
Why
son.
isn't he fucking black?
That's what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm
You're
saying?
saying why is the subject matter to these films? Why is it always so simple? Why are we always discussing the same topics over and over again?
Yes,
Why-
it's not only is it simple, but I just think it's derivative and it's super repetitive. And I think the majority of us are sick of it. We're sick of that shit. And we don't even want to watch it. It's fucking horrible, man.
Well, the majority of people aren't sick of it, and that's why Tyler Perry is such a rich. That's why he's such a rich person, because
You know, it's because a 35-year-old black lady watching that doesn't even want to watch Interstellar anyway. So what the fuck am I talking about? She wouldn't want to watch that shit anyway.
Well,
Whatever weird movie I want to exist. She wouldn't watch it. It would just be me.
A Bible thumper, and this is probably going to sound very... who gives a shit? It's my fucking podcast. A Bible thumper, I would argue... What was that?
It's mine too.
Oh, yeah, it's both ours.
Go on.
I would say doesn't want variety because their mind works very simple. It's either black or it's white. Something's either good or it's bad.
Yeah.
With a movie like an Interstellar, with a movie like an Inception, these are movies where the viewer has to think on their own. Of course, there are things that are served up to them, and information that you need in order to understand the plot. But the interpretation of the film is normally up to you on what this all means. Including was I totally forget.
Cobb.
Yeah, right. Was Cobb asleep? Was he awake? Other than that, it's just. The stories are what I'm trying to get at is the morality that these movies deal with. It's just there's a shade of gray to it. The characters aren't so pinned up into a corner like a Tyler Perry character where you can just easily point at them and say, you see, he's unjust. He is evil. He is wicked. Because I think the point of these Tyler Perry films is just to teach you a lesson. It's just to teach you. I don't think that's the goal of every film. I don't think that's the goal of every album that you hear where an artist is trying to teach you a lesson. Sometimes, most of the time, they're just trying to tell you their story. But the Tyler Perry films are so preachy, and just that style of filmmaking, it's so preachy that characters, they have to be put into corners to just sort of be ideas.
And they're very much concerned with getting across that morality.
Yeah.
It's almost like the producer is saying to them, let's not forget that this character needs to have this happen to them. At the end of the movie, we want to show that cheating leads to AIDS and death.
Yes, exactly. And there's no question that is the intent by the end of the film. What Dom did throughout that movie led to this. That's what happens when you do that.
Right.
And that's the whole point of it, and which I think speaks to a God-fearing person, because at the end of the day, they need to read off that sheet of paper. They need these lessons. They need to be told again and again and again, why the fuck am I dedicating myself to this fucking moronic thing? They need it, and
you talking about that made me think about if there are any movies that sort of fit into what I was talking about, and there are plenty of them. You think about the majority of Denzel Washington has played really complex, morally complex characters. You think about Training Day or Flight is probably the best example. I know we talked about Flight. I love this movie. That is the opposite of what we were talking about. Mm-hmm. So that sort of fits into the parameters of what I was saying. A very complex movie about a guy who is very real, deals with issues that are is a morally ambiguous character, has a lot of shit that's wrong with him, and he is infinitely more real than anything you will see in a Tyler Perry movie. You see what I'm getting at?
Absolutely.
That character. So I want more stuff like that. I just think it's braver. It's more. It's ballsier to write characters like that because they challenge you. Because you like them, and you want them to sort of win, but they do bad things, and this is like real life. That's how it is. Mr. Perry?
Come in, please.
All right. Mm-hmm.
I'm very important. I'm very busy, so please make it quick.
Okay, sir. Mm-hmm. I have your next film, okay? All right, you're good. Here we go. All right, here we go.
Okay. All right.
It is about a woman, okay?
Okay.
She's a woman, and it says right here, you might have to help me read this, she is poor. In the beginning of the movie, she's very poor.
I like where this is going.
Right, okay.
She's
right.
How
she's
poor?
Black and she's
how
poor.
How poor? How poor?
She is so poor that she only drinks water.
Let's scale it down a bit. Let's say she doesn't drink.
Okay, she doesn't drink, and she hasn't eaten in 20 years. Okay, she's super anorexic, but
But she is resilient. She is resilient.
Right, yeah. With the grace of God, she's resilient. Okay. And this is played by none other than it is played by Zoe Saldana. Okay. No. Who do you want to get? Someone shittier. She's too good. Zoe Saldana is too good, right?
Raven Simone.
Okay.
Raven Simone.
But she's not going to want to be credited as an
actress,
black or woman or an actress. Okay. So we just have to say she's a person.
Okay.
In the credits. So Raven Simone, we will have her lose 70 pounds for this role.
70. Okay? I want her emaciated looking. Remember, she hasn't drank in 20 years.
Okay, true.
I want her to look like Mr. Burns.
Okay, we can do this in post. We can have it CGI so she looks like a skeleton.
Excellent,
right?
excellent. Okay.
So she hasn't drank until she meets a special guy.
Oh, okay. Who is this special guy? Well, okay. This special guy is an astronaut, right?
Yes, he is.
President of the United States.
Absolutely.
Quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
Not enough. Keep going.
New England Patriots.
Okay, that too.
He has $50 wajillion in the bank.